Listen, we talking about practice, not a game, not a game.
If you're looking for the best basketball talk in the universe, you just found it. This is Deep Hoops, where fans are the host. Tim Brayboy, Troy Ramel Royal, and me, your point guard, Jehudi. We're talking basketball, all basketball, and nothing but basketball. So sit back and enjoy the best basketball talk in the podcast universe. This is Deep Hoops.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of Deep Hoops. I am the Minister.
I am Tim.
And I'm Rod, the straw that stirs the drink.
Mr. Controversy. And we're going to recap. He's got a lot. We're going to recap the finals and talk about a lot of things around the NBA going on right now. Because we're not experts, but we're passionate fans talking about the game that we love. And it is basketball, but more importantly, NBA basketball, right?
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
So the finals. I told you I was going to just throw you an alley-oop, Ra. Here's the alley-oop.
Okay.
What did you think of the finals?
It went according to what I thought. I just didn't think that Cleveland had enough, and I figured they would get swept. And the reason why I figured they would get swept, because I thought that the team that played Golden State last year was a much better team than what Cleveland currently has.
Okay, now here's the alley-oop. LeBron had 51 in the finals. You had to think, and it was a close game. What are your thoughts on how the game unfolded at the end with LeBron having 51?
I may be of the minority when I say this, and I stand tall when I say this. I think the real GOAT of that game was LeBron. Tyronn Lue gets the blunt for not calling the timeout. Of course, J.R. Smith, he gets the poster because of his mishap. And yeah, you can look at George Hill for missing a free throw, but my take on this, you couldn't miss. You was shooting it into the eye of a needle and making it. You're down one. You got Curry on you. You've been shooting over him the whole time. You've been going to the basket easily. Why are you making that pass right there? If you're the greatest or the GOAT, and to me, LeBron is the GOAT. Going on another team. That's what he is. The GOAT. Going on another team. You heard it here first. Yeah, you take that shot. You take that shot. You have a 6'3" Curry, a non-defensive player.
I'm sorry.
A non-defensive player.
I'm sorry. What's GOAT?
Going on another team. He did that.
Need a meme.
He's got to take that shot. I'm sorry. The great ones, the closers, the guys that has a dagger in their back pocket or in their drawer, they take that shot. There's only one person that passes two great players that passes that ball at that moment. One is Magic Johnson, and the other is Jason Kidd. Even Isaiah Thomas and Gary Payton is taking that shot. It should have never came down to a pass to a cut in George Hill. LeBron, he had Curry. He should have took the shot.
Tim, I know that you vehemently disagree with that. State your point.
Okay. 51, 9, and 8. LeBron and his thinking is, hey, we won this game. Now, okay, Rod, you say...
Wait a minute. Before you go on, how do you think you won this game when you're down one?
Okay, you down one. I got the ball. I'm backing down Curry. We running a play because that's the biggest criticism of Cleveland's offense. We don't run any plays. It's just back it down LeBron, and he makes a decision what they're going to do. We're actually running an actual play. Hill cuts towards the basket. He's wide open. He gets fouled. Okay, so when Jordan passed to Paxson in the 91 finals, he passed to him because he had the confidence that he was going to make the shot. When Jordan passed to Kerr in the 97 finals, he passed to him and he told him, the ball is coming to you, because he had the confidence that he was going to make the shot. I'm backing Curry down. Yeah, of course. He was 19 for 32. So yeah, it would have been 20 for 33 because you probably would have hit the shot. But I'm passing to a wide open player going to.
But wait a minute.
Hold up. No, I didn't interrupt. Rock.
But I have a question. But go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Your question is.
So the question is, when you're the best player in the planet,
Right.
you have a 6'3" guard, a 6'2" guard, or whatever he is on you.
Right.
You have a 51-point game.
Right.
And George Hill, who is, good at best. Good at best.
Average at best.
Average at best. Is cutting. Even if you fake the pass and you go for the shot. He's LeBron James.
Okay. It could be, we could make an argument that, he could have taken a shot.
Could have. Should have.
No, he could have taken a shot.
Wrong move.
Just say he missed, let's say for kicks and giggles, he misses a shot. And then everybody looks at the all 10, the wide angle, and it's like, man, he had George Hill.
No, but
wait. I'll let y'all talk. He passed. It's a make or miss league in the NBA. We all know that.
And I want to make it with my best.
But okay, miss
it with my best.
I figure if I got a wide open, competent
make
player,
it with my best.
It's not like I'm making
or miss it with my best.
It's not like I'm making it or passing it to
over a seat. Now, if Durant was on him, if a big man was on him, I get it. But with Curry on him,
no double team.
And no double.
I agree, but
let me ask you this: you love Jordan,
right?
I think you love Jordan a little bit more than you love LeBron.
Yeah, you know I'm a Jordan. I'm Team Jordan.
And you talking about the Kerr and the Paxson? He doesn't make that pass with a small guard on him. Mouse in the house, barbecue chicken. He's taking that shot.
And that pass to Kerr, he was double teamed, and he had to squeeze through the double team just to get it to Kerr. Listen, let me say something to you. I'm a huge Knicks fan. Charles Smith gets his shot blocked 3 times by the Bulls under the basket. He hasn't stepped foot in the Garden since. Patrick Ewing does a finger roll off the rim when he should have dunked the ball against Indiana, and every time he's in the Garden, he gets a standing ovation. My point is this. I got to go back to what Kenny Smith said. He said that Hakeem came up to him and said, Kenny, I don't want to miss the shot. I don't want to let us down. Kenny Smith told Hakeem, you're the only one on the team that can miss the shot and nothing can be said.
Right.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Your best player is LeBron. You got to switch. You're down 1. It's one thing if the game is tied and he passes the ball, but you're down 1. He scored 51 points. Curry, one of the least defensive players in the league.
Even though he played better defense.
He plays
better
hard.
defense.
He plays hard.
So wait a minute. Hold on.
He should take that shot.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. So think about it. It was 5 things that bad had to happen for them to lose the game. Okay. Number 1, Hill had to miss the shot. Number 2, he got fouled. Number 3, he had to miss one of the 2 free throws. Number 4, J.R. Smith made a great play over Durant to get the rebound.
Durant would be the heel.
He would have been the heel because, wait a minute. How somebody 7-1? Hold on. How somebody 7-1 let somebody 6'3", 6'4"?
But it should have never come down to that. I can't wait a minute. It should have never come down to that.
So number 4, then J.R. Smith doesn't realize it's tied. Oh, I thought we was up 1. No, you're tied. Number 5, Lou doesn't call the timeout when as soon as he saw him spin out and come back towards half court, running on the court, tackling the ref. Damn it, we got to get a timeout. That's the whole thing. Now,
so you're letting LeBron off?
No, I will give you.
What an apologist you are.
I will give you LeBron. He shouldn't have put his hand because. Once, if you're the leader of the team, and I agree with you all, if you're the leader of the team, even though you're like, damn, I can't believe all of them let me down. I done damn scored and assisted on 80% of what we done got tonight. I can't believe they let me down. But you gotta be
still got rally
poker face. You gotta be poker face. And not that I will.
That for me in the finals, that was bigger than all of the stuff that y'all are talking about on the court. When you go to the bench and you're pouting and you're asking how many timeouts, do we have a timeout, and all of this. At that point, you're going to take what's done is done, and you take your cue from the leader. And the leader is showing that he's dejected. So I want to go to one other thing. He hit the board. He hit a whiteboard.
Yeah.
And at the end of the finals,
he comes out with a cast.
With a cast on.
Now, that's the passive-aggressive LeBron that I don't like. I like everything about LeBron within the 94 feet, except when he gets fouled. Except when he gets fouled and lingers in the backcourt when there's something going on in the front court. I'm like, damn it, LeBron, you got to damn run, especially in the final. You could do that on Tuesday night in February. You kind of linger in the backcourt. I don't care. You kind of bitch and complain and moan and whatever. But in the finals against them, you can't. That 4 and 5, they're gonna kill you every time. So I will agree with you on that. But I think he needs to understand, like you said, they get their cues from him, and when you're dejected, and you got to say, okay, that happened. That was 5 minutes ago. That was yesterday. This is today. Whatever time it was. But you know,
and bigger than this was yesterday and that's today. They take their cue from you. You're the leader.
They're the leader.
You know, this is my thing about Game 1. The series was lost in Game 1.
Yes.
Had they found a way to win that game,
it would have been a totally
might
different
be
series.
Still watching this series.
I may be on the cruise watching the game.
Right, because I think the confidence level of the team.
And you beat them in Golden State.
Higher.
Right.
You know, but here's my thing. Despite from the reversal of the call, despite the missed free throw, despite J.R. Smith's blunder, despite Tyronn Lue not calling a timeout, with all of that happening, they were still in a chance to win the game. From the bad call.
I'm sorry, you're not gonna win the game. You had your shot was in regulation.
Let me finish. You had a chance to
win
the game.
Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, Rob. He said something. You had your shot in regulation. Who didn't take the shot?
He didn't take the shot.
That's everything.
No, but
and still
he passed so wide open.
And Tim.
Wait, hold up. You had 2 chances. You had 2 players.
What did he do on the foul line? What did he do on the foul line?
He should have never passed that ball.
What did he do on the foul line?
He should have never passed the ball.
What did he do on the foul line?
What do you mean?
What did Hill do on the foul line?
He missed one.
Thank you.
But I guess my thing is, it would be different if he had 51 and he was directly involved in the last 3 seconds, this last sequences of that game.
Was.
No, he
was
wasn't.
responsible for it.
No.
He passed the ball to Hill.
No. I'm saying from the time he made a basketball, because his thing is going to be
LeBron off the hook.
No,
man.
his thing is going to be.
He should have took Curry, and then in the overtime, this guy has 51 points. He pouts on the sideline. He shows no disinterest to his teammate. He doesn't pick nobody up. He doesn't say, come on, we still got a chance. There's 5 minutes left. The guy was unstoppable. He doesn't take a shot until there's 2 minutes and like 15 seconds left in the overtime. The only time that they were outplayed in the game was in overtime.
They got beat down in the third quarter.
This is all on LeBron.
This is not all
on LeBron.
So you can have great stats and still not have a great game.
What he had for the series, in my estimation, was great numbers, but not a great series. Because in Game 1, we just talked about it. Game 3, before in our production meeting, you talked about where he took Curry again in the paint, and then he passes to a cutting Tristan who's going away from the basket that has to catch the ball, stop, readjust, comes around. He's just not that player.
Now, I will give you.
Again.
I will give you.
Another key player.
I will give you.
And Game 3 was winnable.
Yeah, Game 3 was
Game 3.
But he didn't have. But this is how he's going to. Game 1, he's going to rationalize this. Game 1, I put up 19 for 32, 51, 9, and 8. Listen to what I'm saying.
Man,
and we could all have our different points of view on it. He's going to say, and 98% of the people are going to say he's right. Media, fans, they're going to be like, even fans that don't like him, are going to be like, hell, he
You're doing the butt. You're doing the butt.
Listen to what I'm saying.
But.
No,
You're doing
it's
the
not a
butt.
butt. It's
You're
not
doing
a
the butt.
Okay, if Hill, he got fouled.
But
Hill missed 2 free, and I think it would have been better for everyone involved if Hill would have hit the 2 free throws and Golden State would have came down and hit a J at the end, and then you wouldn't have all this extra because they won. It's not an extra thing. It's like what woulda, coulda, shoulda.
So, we could go back and forth on LeBron, and that's my closing comments on LeBron. But let's move forward.
Okay.
Man, I make one comment about the cast.
I hated the cast before, and I like LeBron.
I like the idea.
I hated the
that
cast.
he went into the locker room and punched something.
But don't
you know,
come out
I like that.
Forth.
I like that he had that emotion and he felt that way because he realized. I'm gonna say he let the game get away, but the team let it get away. All right, I get that. But my thing is this: if you hurt your hand from that incident, let it be known right then. If you don't let it be known right then, let it come out in August. I just thought that he can't. To me, if you watch his teammates in Game 4, he got no congratulations from anybody. There was no high-fiving him, no celebrating, no patting him on the back. It was almost as if the team started to disconnect from him because throughout the series, he gave the impression of me. He
disconnected from them.
From all his interviews. And the team disconnected from him early on, not the second half, in the first half of the game. And it showed. My wife even said, well, they don't even seem like they engaged with him.
He was out of it. He checked out. He used the cast as a prop. And, the bottom line is, no one is denying on this panel that he's a great player.
No, he's a great player.
He's a great player. Great players don't use a prop to make an excuse, to build in your narrative on why you lost, because my hand was broke. And he said broke, but I was sitting down here with my godson, Keith Eccleston. I know you follow Deep Hoops. We were sitting here, and Wendy, came on right before the press conference and started the narrative. So they leaked it to Wendy, and Wendy said, no one knows, but he hurt his hand after the first game. I looked at my godson and I said, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
At that moment, and then when he came on with the cast, I said, there it is.
Yeah.
Wendy, they leaked it to Wendy. His people leaked it to Wendy. Wendy then went on to, right before the press conference and started building the narrative of why they lost because he hurt his hand. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
I agree.
And
I'm a LeBron fan.
And I had LeBron fans talking about, oh, look what he did with a broke hand.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Stop
it.
I agree.
You're too young to watch Isaiah Thomas beat the Lakers with 25 points on a broke ankle.
Come on.
Played the game and came back the next game.
Right. But he couldn't make it in that last game. But yeah. So, I'm going to make him my closing comment. So let's move on. MVP. Do you agree with the MVP vote?
Yes.
You were just you're not a millennial, but you act like one. Rob, what do you think?
We're talking about the MVP of the finals.
Yes, MVP of the finals.
Yes, it was.
Durant.
Yeah, Durant. Because, and I'm gonna say why. Because Durant because when it was 2-0 and Cleveland played, Golden State was playing at 75% efficiency. Cleveland was playing at max. If it was AC unit, it was blowing as hard as it could. And Curry wasn't play. Curry had a crappy game, and Clay had a crappy game. Green had a pretty good game, but it was Durant that hit that 33-footer that killed him because Curry hit his first and only three,
which was probably bigger than that three.
It was a big three, but LeBron came down and hit a three.
Yeah.
Right that was a next possession.
But it forced the three.
Right, it was a forced three, but he popped it.
And then he had a layup. Curry had a layup.
Right,
He had the layup first.
Right, then the three. Right.
You know,
So it was 100. It was 199. It was 199. And you're like, okay, all right, get one stop. If you coming back, if you get this stop, you come back. You got a chance to take the lead.
Let me just say this.
Okay, no, hold on.
Hold on. Durant has statistically a great series. Statistically.
He had games 2, 3, and 4. His 2, 3, and 4 were hot.
Statistically, he had a great series.
2, 3, and 4.
Statistically, he had a great series.
Okay.
In no way, shape, form, or fashion did he have a great series. He had a great statistical series. But we said he would have been the heel because of that rebound in game 1.
even though he had 26 points,
Right.
but it wasn't
No,
one of his
his
better-
game
Right,
1,
right.
I didn't say his game 1 was good.
Wasn't
His
one
game
of his
1
best
was terrible.
26 points.
And Curry had,
But
except
Curry
for the
didn't have
third
a good-
game,
he didn't have a
miserable
good game.
third.
but he had a big shot, 2 big shots.
T baskets.
But and the other 3 games, he was huge.
Stellar. Now,
Huge.
Here's my thing. It's funny. I'm watching the game 4, and it looks like Durant was playing to set Curry up for the MVP.
Right, he was. They all were.
And Curry took advantage of it.
Right.
And he did what he had to do. But in the midst of Curry doing what he had to do, he helped Durant get a triple-double.
Right.
And I really think that the triple-double
It's what sealed the MVP.
Right.
Seven
But my
out of four.
question to you is this, is that how many MVP votes did J.R. Smith get?
Because he the one messed up the. Remember, they was chanting MVP.
They was chanting
and
MVP for him in the second game.
because he blew the whole series. See, and that's why I'm like,
All right, so you know,
20 minutes.
That's the.
I would have voted for Curry, though.
I would have voted for Curry as well. So the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, weighed in.
The old Black Mama.
Is there a new one?
No, he's old.
I think he's younger than you, so we'll leave it at that.
Old at basketball terms.
Okay, all right. You're talking dog years. The bottom line is the Black Mamba, who is still very well respected for his analysis of the game and what it takes to win, had a comment about LeBron James.
There was nothing that he said that I can argue or disagree with. You know, maybe this is the hate that I have towards LeBron. And as you mentioned earlier, I recognize LeBron as one of the greatest players to play this game. He's a great player. But LeBron, of the greats, he just lacks that killer instinct. And I think that's what Kobe was alluding to. He said,
Find a way.
One of his most classic statements in there was, he said, you don't make players better by just passing them the ball. And I just thought that was so profound because, to me, if I don't have confidence in you, Jehudi, or I don't have confidence in you, if I pass you the ball, I can't expect you to make the shot. And what he is saying is that the confidence that you need to instill in these players so that they can be ready at these key moments starts from training camp.
You know, Tim said something about Jordan. And they said in that timeout, he went to Kerr and he said, I'm passing you the ball. Be ready.
And what was Kerr?
Ready. Because he instilled, because you said something, and you have to instill confidence,
You gotta instill confidence
into the others.
Absolutely.
You can't, just pass them the ball. And, I remember Tim Legler was talking about not everyone can play with LeBron.
No.
Most people can't play with LeBron because LeBron is going to do whatever he wants, and then at the last second you're going to get the ball, and then you're going to be expected to make the shot. Well, if he hasn't instilled confidence in you, and if you don't know what's coming and then you just get the ball, what are you expected to do?
Right.
And so that now you look like a heel, but the heel is really, I don't want to say heel. The onus is on LeBron to instill confidence in the others.
And it starts from day one.
Right.
Day one. You know, Kobe talked about sometimes you got to be tough with them and that sort of thing. And we mentioned how Jordan was probably knocking these guys upside the head.
And he's taking them out to dinner,
But
teaching them about wine, which is great. I mean, he's a great guy, but he's not raising their ability.
no, I mean, let me say this. Some of the great players during the Shaq and Kobe era would have died to have Shaq on their team. But Kobe, the person he is, said, "Yo, Shaq, if you're not gonna be in shape, I don't need you around here.
Right.
Yeah, you can leave. Hey, if he's not gonna be in shape, get him out of here. Him or me." Now, who would have said that at that time?
About a Shaq.
About a Shaq, who at the time was probably the most dominant, I'm going to say dominant, maybe the most unstoppable player in the game. And
That's dominance, yeah.
And yet he's saying to him, yo, if you don't come to camp right, I mean, he's challenging the big fella. Who's going to do that? But you know what that did? Yo, they won 3 championships. At
When
some
they could have
point,
won 6.
yeah, but you know what? He challenged Shaq. Shaq didn't want it. He didn't want to get in shape.
But Shaq.
What did Shaq say? The reason why he didn't get in shape because he had him there.
Because no, Shaq was like.
That's coming from Shaq's
Shaq's
mouth
mouth.
on video.
I agree. But Shaq was like, his whole thing was, I got hurt on company time. I'll get rehab on company time. But he knew he had Kobe there, and he knew Kobe was going to take the reins.
I applaud Kobe for everything he said about LeBron, and I think he was dead on. And not to diminish LeBron, but LeBron just don't have that killer instinct that some of the greatest scorers have. And he's going to go down in history as a top 5 scorer in this game, if not higher. And he doesn't have the killer instinct.
So wait a minute, hold on. Okay, all right. In the modern NBA, and I can't see in this again. I'm not counting Bill Russel, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson. Modern
80
NBA.
and up?
80 and up. 3-point line and up, which is 80. 1980. LeBron is going to come in the top 5 all time. I think we all agree. And he's probably, if you take now, we watch basketball, but it's not like we traveling and watch these guys in person. We watch basketball, and all of us, you all know more basketball than I do. And I'll say you do, especially you, Rod. You are really...
Well, then you would know that LeBron's not in my top 5.
But everyone would agree that LeBron, most people would agree, LeBron's in the top 5 all time, modern NBA.
Prisoners of the moment.
But, so who are you bumping out?
And you know what? See me next show when I dissect.
That's
this question.
that's the
But
show we
not,
need to have.
He's not in my top 5. Not from the 80s on or from the 60s.
We're not
on.
counting on the 60s on because
I'm
that was a
just
totally
saying,
different
from the
game.
80s on, he's not in my top 5.
He got to be in your top 5. He
See,
could be number 5.
Here's what happens. LeBron clouds everybody's judgment because he does the triple doubles. And that looks great and it's good stat stuff.
Like Westbrook.
You know, but here's my thing. We grew up watching players that did their role, that they did their job. Jordan didn't have to rebound and pass the ball and score. Why? Because he had rebounders there. Kobe didn't have to rebound and pass the ball. Why? Because he also had rebounders there. LeBron, to me, plays the game not to win chips, but he plays the game to be the very best. And by being the very best, his only way of being the very best is by stuffing the stats and trying to be a top point guard, top assist, and top 5 scorer in all categories. But that don't make him the better player.
So okay, hold on. Okay, this is an interesting thing. This is good. This is a great conversation because there was a big thing on Twitter today. Was Kobe ever the best player in the league?
Yes.
Everybody said.
I don't care what everybody says.
I agree. Now, I personally agree that because when LeBron was young, when he was in the teens, early 20s, after Jordan had retired, Kobe was better when Shaq was going down. He was better than Nash. He was better than Duncan. So that from that 2005 to 2008, 2009, Kobe was the best player in the league. Now, I will agree with that. But a lot of people say that LeBron, and that's that stats thing that you were talking about, that LeBron was the best player in the league. I'm like, no.
So
I'm
sorry, but the Kobe thing is fine. But let me just ask this: is LeBron more focused on being the GOAT than winning championships? And because when you talk about filling stat sheets and everything like that,
I think so.
He's trying to compete with Jordan instead of competing with who he's playing against.
I think that the GOAT is a big thing for him, and I think that the only way he can become the GOAT is by finishing in top 5, scoring, rebounding, and assists, because no one can say that. And to me, numbers don't mean anything to me. He can't beat Michael Jordan or Bill Russell or Jabbar in rings. He's 3-6 right now, all right? He's got 8 straight trips to the finals, right? And everybody's talking about Kobe's bitter because he's not in the conversation of the GOAT, all right? To me, he hasn't even passed Kobe, and let alone going after Jordan. Again, he's a great player, but he's just not the greatest of them all. My GOAT is Jabbar. Okay. And the reason for Jabbar, no one has had a better basketball life than Jabbar. He's the best high school player to ever play the game, the best college player to ever play the game, and then the career he had in the pros. This guy is responsible for 14 championships through high school, through college, and in the pros. And not to mention, he's the all-time leading scorer in the game. And you talk about selfless. This is a guy that when Magic Johnson came into the league, he was arguably the best player in the game. He took a back seat to allow Magic to grow. Then he took a further seat back to let Worthy grow. And as a result of it, he's got 6 rings. And he's the all-time leading scorer. And not to mention, he's got a shot that nobody can block or stop. He's the author of that.
I can't argue that. I can't argue that.
He's the GOAT. The greatest of all time. Not going on another team, such as somebody I know.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, come on now.
Now, wait a minute. Now, it's not like he played with the Lakers all the way through. He
started in Milwaukee.
He started in Milwaukee. He got traded because it was a lot of things off the court and on the
money,
court.
right?
Off the court was the house, but his house getting bombed. It was a whole bunch of stuff off the court. And on the court, he knew Milwaukee was getting ready to hit. They was getting ready to slide down because Oscar Robertson had retired. So he knew what was going on. He requested a trade to the Lakers, and they traded.
But it's unlike.
No.
It's unlike what he was talking about. It's unlike LeBron. Now, in this offseason, where's LeBron going? And that's going to be a conversation that we're going to talk. No. That's a conversation that we're going to talk about. Where's LeBron going?
What's worse, where LeBron is going, who's he going with?
Who he's going with?
But hey, I want to just throw in a quick did you know? Did you know that when the Milwaukee Bucks had Oscar Robertson and Jabbar, they drafted Julius Erving? No, but he wound up going to the ABA. That would have been the first big 3. that would have been scary.
That would have been the greatest big 3.
Yeah. Dr. J, Oscar Robertson, and Jabbar, he may not have went to the Lakers.
No, he would have stayed. But, so let's move that forward to Kevin Durant. He won the MVP. Is he a lock to stay with Golden State? And what is this about him talking about retiring, in maybe 5 years?
You know what? These guys can retire after their second contract. You know what I mean? I mean, the money that they're making. I mean, here's the thing. And you know what I respect about him saying that is that in the 5 years, if he stays in Golden State, he's probably going to have an opportunity to win at least 3 to 4 more championships. With that said, he's not chasing to be the GOAT or anything like that. He's just trying to get out of the league with his health, couple of rings, wind up probably maybe top 30 all time, and live his life with a grip of money. Because if he signs the contract that I think he's going to sign, it's going to pay him over $200 million. He doesn't need no more money after that.
Do you think for his legacy he needs to go somewhere else?
Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna say no. Because when we think of Kevin Durant, we're not putting him in that pedestal with the all-time greats.
Could he though? I mean, he's capable of being there.
But see, this is my thing with him, and bro, I'm gonna swing it back to you. But Durant, and I went to work, and I told after that game 3, and I'm like, I will stand on a chair. I've been watching basketball since 1980. He is the greatest pure scorer, not anything else, pure scorer that I've ever seen. Because he can shoot from, his range is unlimited. He can post up, he can come all the way out, he can do all the scoring, and he's a 90% free. 50. He's a 50, 40, 90 at 7'1" tall.
Again,
it's never been a player in the league that's a 50, 40,
that's
90.
arguable. That's arguable.
I mean,
at 7'1", and he's not 6'9".
The difference now is that basketball has become a positionless sport.
Right.
All right. It's also got away from some of the traditional ways of learning the game like we did. If you was the tallest kid in your class, you played center. Now these guys is the tallest kid on the court, but they're bringing the ball up. You know what I mean? They're shooting 3-pointers. So it's a different league. If Patrick Ewing was playing right now, he'd be shooting 3-pointers. Because of his jump shot. But my point is this. He had the range for a jump shot. If he was playing now, they would have stretched him out. And, I mean, look, you got guys, Amir Johnson, can't make a layup, but he's on the 3-point line. So it's a different era. But when we talk about Durant, there's no one talking about him being a top 10 greatest player of all time.
No.
Not yet.
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
But if he
went
up
to another team and won a couple of titles without Curry, and he could be in the argument.
I think that right now, Durant is on pace to be in the conversation of a top 25 player of all time.
He's like top 10. He's going to end up being top 10.
I don't like him.
I don't think so because I think in order for him to be top 10, he's definitely got to go past the 5 years.
But his 5 years. Remember, his 5 years, he started as a freshman, and he averaged 20 a game as a rookie. So his 15 years from 19 to 35 is gonna be. He's gonna be in the top. He's gonna be in the top 4 all time.
We'll make this a show during the off season. We'll make it a show during the off season because we got to move on. And we have to move on. We have to touch on this subject, even though I really don't want to. But we have to. We're an NBA show. We got to talk about this. So let's do it. Where's LeBron going?
Right.
You guys know me as one of the biggest LeBron haters out there.
You want him on the Knicks?
Actually, if he went to the Knicks, I'd become a Celtics fan. And that's recorded.
What did he just say? Did he just say that?
Yeah, I would. It would make it difficult for me to root for the Knicks.
So wait a minute. So that means you can't take anything he says about LeBron seriously.
No, you can take it.
The reason why, first of all, LeBron's not walking to the Knicks by himself.
He's coming with some help.
So he's coming with some help,
he's the greatest player of all time. He's coming with help.
That's why it would make it difficult for me to root for the Knicks because he's coming with help, and that's what despises me towards him is that he gotta come with help.
But that's not every. Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. I'm walking towards the camera. So a 73-win best record of all time team can go get Durant, but LeBron can't go to a team and get someone else, but y'all cool with that.
No, I wasn't cool with that.
Hold on.
Tim,
Who was cool with that?
To the no.
Who was cool with that?
But y'all like, oh, well, LeBron.
No. I was never very cool
Tim.
with that. Come
I
on.
wanna address
Situation.
Kevin Durant does not go to Golden State if LeBron never orchestrates the big three in Miami.
But no, Kevin Durant never goes.
That's it.
Kevin Durant never goes to Golden State if LeBron and Kyrie don't beat them, come back from 3-1 in the fight. No. Because hold on. Because Draymond Green called Durant that night and said, "Please come, please, baby, please come and rescue us." Did that happen?
We're closing out. We're closing out.
LeBron doesn't construct the big three.
You went into the camera.
If he doesn't construct the big three, Durant doesn't leave.
And I agree. But hold on. But here's the deal. I disagree with you on where Durant can end up. And I'm not. I love Durant. I loved him until he went to Golden State. I think that his greatness would have been even greater had he not gone to Golden State.
Right.
That's my opinion. So don't give me standing in the camera saying, no. LeBron doesn't need to go get Paul George and this one and that one to come with him to try to win the title. Stop it. Don't give me the GOAT and you're out there recruiting other great players of your time to play with.
It works now.
No, stop it. Stop
he created it. I have the respect of LeBron if he remains in Cleveland.
Where does he go?
I say Boston.
Here's what I say, and then we're going to close it. I don't give a damn where you go. Okay? Just be great wherever you go and win. Okay? That's the bottom line. And stop trying to recruit other great players so you can have another super team. Yo, you're the greatest player in the league right now. Go and make somebody better, and that's what my closing comments are going to be about. You know, the funny thing about the offseason in the NBA, there is no offseason.
No.
I mean, from summer league to free agency to all the things that are going to happen, we're not going to stop doing Deep Hoop. So we want to let you know, even though there's no more basketball, we're going to do some live, Facebook Live. We're going to continue to do the Deep Hoop Show because the off season, there is none.
No,
off season
really is not
in the NBA. And there are going to be a number of topics that we're going to talk about, from the greatest of all time and all of that. Even though I don't really partake in the greatest of all time, I'm going to have some opinions. We're going to have some old school cats that are going to that watched the Will Chamberlains, the Elgin Baylors, that watch those guys come in and give a perspective to you millennials that really just hear these names and have no idea. And they're going to give you some things that you can think about when you start talking about the all-time greats. And that's why I don't like to say one person is the GOAT.
Right.
Because if you're going to say one person is the GOAT, it's got to be down to three people, in my opinion. And the fourth would be Jordan. The three would be Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, because if you want titles, it's Bill Russell. If you want stats, it's Will Chamberlain. And if you want stats and titles, it's Jabbar. So that's why I don't get into this GOAT. You know, the GOAT is the GOAT of that era and not of all time. But anyway, it's time for our closing comments. Okay. So, Ra, you have the floor.
You know, I'm going a different route today with my closing comment. And this is probably the strangest route that I've taken all year during the Deep Hoops. But something came across the wire in sports that I really have to reflect on. This is aimed towards the youngsters out there that has aspirations of being an athlete, no matter what it might be, soccer, basketball, football. And it is also aimed at the parents that are bringing these children up, these young boys and girls into the field of sports. You know, I think in life, humility goes a long way. You know, being humble can go a long way. It's a great character. It shows that you have appreciation. It shows that you have respect, and it's just a good lifestyle to be humble. And I bring this up because a guy that I root for and wanted him to receive an entrance to the NFL Hall of Fame, Terrell Owens. I'd be dismissed if I didn't speak upon it. You know, Terrell Owens doesn't realize that he's not just a former football player, but he's an athlete. He don't just represent football players only or football fans. He represents athletes. And in the world of athletes, that's a huge fraternity. And here's a guy that I thought should have been a first-time Hall of Fame ballot. Okay, he didn't get in. Yeah, he's top 3 wide receiver all time. One of my favorite wide receivers. Took him 13 years to get in the Hall of Fame, and that's Lynn Swann. Can't be a more humble guy than that. There's been slightly close to 25,000 NFL players to play the game, with less than 400 in the Hall of Fame. That's a 1.6%, and you're a chosen one, and you're going to respond in the manner that you responded in and say you're not going to show up for whatever reason and you're going to celebrate on your own. I just think that everything that they thought of you kind of lean towards proving them right. This doesn't diminish what you did on the field, but it shows a lack of humility, humbleness, and this is something that all young children, boys and girls that are aspiring to be an athlete is watching, observing, and looking up to. T.O., I think you could have handled this in a much better light. I mean, you could have did what Jordan did. Go to the NBA Hall of Fame, or go to the NFL Hall of Fame as Jordan went to the NBA Hall of Fame, and use it as to get on everybody's speech, to disrespect or knock people down. But I just think you could have handled this differently, and there's children watching you. You're a great player. I actually think you're a great dude. But I just think that you handled this wrong, and I hope that you realize what you have done and may reconsider to go to the Hall of Fame. Because as someone said it, that's the football heaven. But more importantly, you got youngsters watching you. Those are my closing comments.
Wow, Rob. Normally, I agree with you or somewhat disagree with you. Tonight, I vehemently disagree with your closing comments. But they're your closing comments. I'm leaving it at that. Terrell, thank you for doing what you're doing. That's my opinion. And maybe we have to have a deep skins or something so we can talk about that. Deep huddle or the NFL. I have and I'm real quick. I know we're dealing with time. Every year I go to the NFL game, to the Dallas Cowboys, me and my family members, Dallas Cowboy fans. This year I'm going to Dallas with them, but I told them I'm not going to the game because of all the stuff that's going on with the NFL and everything else. And I'm glad, and even though he's not standing up for that, I'm glad he's standing up for himself. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. And it's BS. It's crap that they're taking it out on him and, making him, we're gonna make you wait, boy, until when we say you can go into the NFL Hall of Fame.
You know what's sad about that is that right now in the NFL is a very sensitive subject right now. You have the president that's putting his 2 cents in, and he almost sounds like a bitter or scorned person.
Because he couldn't get in. Yes.
Right. But meanwhile, you have a group of athletes, and primarily led by African Americans, that is showing some positivity by trying to deal with social issues, and then you have T.O. come in and just, in my opinion, just act totally opposite of what they're trying to do. And I just think that the timing is bad, and I think he could have handled it much better. I don't blame him for being upset. As I mentioned, he should have been a first-time Hall of Fame ballot.
First ballot.
No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I mean, you can make the case that he is the best wide receiver ever. I know we're going to say Jerry Rice. But you know what? If we say Jerry Rice, did he make Joe Montana or did Joe Montana make Jerry Rice? But when we look at who was throwing the ball to T.O., it was a slew of quarterbacks. Garcia, Romo. My man in Philly, I can't think of his name right now. Donovan McNabb. So the point is that he didn't have the luxury to have a Brady for 20 years or Joe Montana. This guy was around the league, and he produced whatever.
And you know what? And I'm going to leave it at this. Because it's your closing comments, and I'm biting into your time, and I don't mean to disrespect you on that. I said, if I were him, way before he got in, when they nominated me and voted me in, I wouldn't go to the Hall of Fame. I would not go.
We will agree to disagree on
Yeah,
this.
I would, me personally, and I know T.O. was doing it for his own spite or his ego. You don't do closing comments, man. Stay over there. His ego. I would be doing it for a different reason, but I respect your point. I disagree, but I respect your point. Let me make my point very quickly. I've said this a million times before, and we talked about LeBron James in this podcast. Can we go on record finally, and say LeBron James makes no one better? Can we just go ahead and just say it? Can we just now? It doesn't take away from his greatness as an individual player. But LeBron James makes no one better. Did he make Love better? No. Did he make Wade better? No. Did he make Bosh better? No. And then what I hate hearing is he drugged this terrible team to the finals. He drugged that first team to the finals and this team to the finals. And he has a bunch of, of misfit characters. And that's why he lost. Wait a minute. If you're the greatest of all time, you know what? You should at least raise their level of play and then on the bench show something as a leader to instill, as you said, a level of confidence in them even when they make boneheaded mistakes. LeBron is a great individual player. And that's why I said earlier, I believe that he's going after the greatest of all time and not focused on winning to make himself the greatest of all time. And winning and making yourself the greatest of all time by winning means that you're going to instill confidence in the players that are playing with you and make them and raise their level of play. Here's the last thing I'm going to say on that. And people are going to say because I love Kobe. Everyone always said that Kobe made no one better. Lamar Odom got better when he played with Kobe. Derek Fisher had a better career when he played with Kobe as opposed to when he went to Utah or anywhere else. Pau Gasol got better when he played with Kobe. Kobe made him a more confident player because they were saying that he was soft. Everyone, hell, he played with Smush Parker. And he made him an NBA player. He can't make him better because there was no goodness in Smush to go start with. I can't name one player that was at the level of Smush Parker that LeBron played with. LeBron, stop looking for other superstars. Stop trying to be the GM. Go out there and be the best player in the NBA. And then instill the confidence of the people that you have around you and raise their level of play, and then, just then, maybe you could stay in Cleveland and win a title in Cleveland with the players that you don't pick, but you let the GM do their job, and you do your job on the court and raise their level of play. I don't want to hear anyone say that LeBron makes anyone better, because LeBron has never, in his whole career, made anyone better. If anything, he's made them worse, and that's my closing comments. I am the minister.
And I'm Rod.
And for Tim Brayboy, who's in the background probably cringing because I talked about LeBron James, this is Deep Hoops, where we're not experts, but we're passionate fans talking about the game that we love. Yo, man, I'm going on a cruise, man. Are y'all going to do a show while I'm going?
No, we'll wait till you get back.
You going to wait till I get back? I'm not going to China. I'm only going on a cruise. I will see you. We will see you when I get back from my cruise. Peace.
Peace and blessings.